Hello everyone, this is Dushyant Tapsin and today we are discussing about variables and data types in JavaScript. So let's see what do we have content I had brought today. Uh, okay, so here we are on Hashnote as expected. I had brought here the articles. Yeah, so we do have first variables. So here we wrote this a variable. A variable is a named reference to a value stored in a memory. So let's say here it is a container and a container contains something called data, let's say. So if you want to access that, we need a reference. So that reference was given by the variable. So yeah, here we have a simple term. It is like a named box that store a value. So the program can use it later. We can use that value many times and we want it. So here we can see the example. So the example say let name equal to Dushyant. That's me. Console.log name. So we have called the variable. So here it is a variable name. So name is a variable identifier and Dushyant is a data type value stored value. So let's see how do we declare a variable. A variable can be declared by a three way. Variable, var, what we say, and let and const. So variable it is likely to be used very rarely in JavaScript program. So we have also wrote here variable was used in older JavaScript, but today developers rarely use it. Yeah, that's obvious. Very and another we have let. So let allow you to change the value later. What do we say more about this? It's pretty basic stuff, you can read it. Const mean the value cannot be reassigned as its name suggests. Const pi equal 3.14 pi, that will throw error. We cannot reassign the value to the pi as we have already used the word const. Yeah, so now we will move to data type as we do not have nothing much on that. So data type. A data type is a simply type of value a variable hold. Means you can so let's say data. What data are we actually talking about? So data can be of many types. It can be a number, it can be a string, it can be a boolean, it can be big integer. So yeah, on the basis of that we had divided that into two parts. It is one primary data type, primitive data type, and another one we have non-primitive data type. So let's get. So first we have primitive data type. It is basically a simple value. It is the simple value that assigned to a variable and they are immutable because they are not assigned as object. We'll discuss about that later. So we have around seven primitive data type. String basically a alphabet. Number, boolean, true or false. Undefined, let's say you define let a equal something something, but while executing the value cannot be find. Example in we have talked about the hosting. We will discuss about here. Null means you did not assign anything. Big int, it's mean the large integer we are talking about. And symbol, we will discuss about that too. So in JavaScript, data types are mainly to divide two categories. Primitive, non-primitive, we have discussed about that. Okay, non-primitive is also known as reference data type. Okay, so we have talked about function already in another video. If you did not watch that, I will attach the link below, or you can just simply search my YouTube channel. So now we will discuss about primitive data type. It is primitive data type store a single simple value directly. So basically it means the simplest value you can imagine can be held inside the primitive data type because they are immutable means their copy will generate it and they will be added, but the actual value do not add it. Okay, so apart from this, if you want to know what is the type of the uh, data we are talking about, so we can use type of data, and we will did console log, so you will know what type of that this is. So string, so let's talk one by one. First we have string, text data. So mm, text, alphabet, Dushyant. Okay, numeric number, it's a numeric values 21, boolean true or false, is student true, might be false, undefined, variable was declared, was not assigned. Okay, so here we have did not assign the value of value identifier, name identifier it is. Okay, that's why it is undefined. Null, intentionally empty value, we did not assign anything. So let data equal to null. Big int, we had discussed about this big number. So yeah, it is symbol, unique identifier. It was rarely used nowadays, but okay, if we got time, we will discuss about that in briefly. So the key characteristic of this primitive data type. So three thing you should remember that they store a single values and stored directly in memory means they are immutable, cannot be added. Yeah, immutable we have talked about. So now talk about non-primitive data type. So basically why do we need to require this? So let's say if you want to store multiple things about one particular thing, so we do not assign value again and again and again. So what we have done, we have done something like this. Let's see this. It basically stores multiple values, okay, or complete data structure, and the variable stored in reference memory to the data instead of actual value. That's what we are talking about. So first we have object, array, and function. So function we have already discussed about that. So a function is also a non-primitive data type. So object, how it is looked at, we have assigned a person his age and his name. That's me, obviously. And we do have array, let number 1 2 3 4. Function, we have discussed about that. If in case if you miss that, I have also attached this video here. You can also watch this, directly click on that. So summary for data type, we have comparison here for primitive and non-primitive data type. Primitive store single value, store directly in memory, immutable number string. Yeah, that's a pretty basic stuff. We do not require to spend so much time on this. So one thing also come into mind, why do we require three variables? Since we have var, then why do we require let? If we have let, then why do we require const? So in engineering, everything happened for a reason. No block scope, where ignore block like curly bracket. It's mean that the variable x equal to 10, it can be accessed in all of the code written in a file. So with let this bit throw error, because let x equal to 10, we have assigned this in a particular scope. That's why read declaration is allowed. Variable allow declaring the same variable which can accidentally override value. So here we can see we have given the same name equal to Dushyant and name equal to Rahul, but when we console log name, so we have got Rahul. Why did not we get Dushyant? If we require Dushyant, then why it is coming this? So this was stopped by let name equal to Dushyant, and whenever you assign same name to another person, this will throw an error. That's why we need it. And another, we have hosting confusion. We have discussed about that hosting in previous video. If you did not watch that, I will suggest you to watch it. This is very important topic asked in an interview. So variable is hosted, meaning JavaScript move the declaration to the top internally. It do not assign the value, it's just declare the variable. Okay, so here what console.log a variable equal to 10. What does this mean? That when JavaScript is running this, so they will declare variable a to the top, and then we will console.log a. Remember, the a value did not assign at the top, it was remain below. So that's why we do get the undefined. It's mean the value is there, but it was not assigned at. We have global pollution, as we have discussed about this, about that where complex thing, we can do this sort. Okay, when you declare a variable where variable globally. It become a part of the global object and can conflict, since we can give this name to the many variable as we want, but this will create a confusion to in long run. Since the database become longer and longer with time, it will create just a confusion. So what do we have today? So const is our default choice, since we do not want to change everything again and again, and we use let when store value need to be changed, and variable we just avoid it. Now we have scope. So what does this say? Scope is a region of program where a variable can be accessed or used. It is a region where where a variable can be accessed. Okay. So we have another example of function. Let name equal to Dushan, and we have assigned a function and its function name greet console.log name, and we have called the function greet. So let's see type of scope. First is a global scope, means the variable declare outside any function or block. It can be accessed in full code base in a file, accessed everywhere in a file. Let equal to 10, wherever we write a, it automatically about 5, whether you call it in a function or wherever. Okay, another we have function scope, a variable that declare inside a function. In a function, whatever you decided will remain inside that. It exists only inside the function. Yeah, we have assigned the value v to a function name which is test. Okay, another one we have log scope. So variable declare inside curly bracket using let or const. Yeah, you can see that too. Okay, that's for today. I guess we have covered too much. It do not have that much content, so yeah, it is very pretty basic simple, right? Okay, let's meet in another video. Bye guys.